All right, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be trying the ATF Handgun Qualification. The cardboard target below the metal one back here is the ATF equivalent of a standardized target for them. So it's an 8-inch circle on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. My sheet of paper is bigger, but I have that outline drawn in. All right, so we're at 3 yards where the majority of the stages take place. We have to draw and hit 3 shots in the circle within 3 seconds is my total time. You might be able to tell I do not have an outside the waistband holster. I'm doing all of this from concealment just to nerf myself a little bit, make it a little bit more challenging. All right, so we did that a full second fast at 2.0 seconds. So on to the next. Next, we remain at 3 yards. We are doing 3 shots from draw. I think they use the term freestyle, which means just shooting normally. And then we switch to our weak hand only, 3 more shots. We have a total of 7 seconds to finish this from the draw on the timer. Let's see how we do. All right, total time 5.77. On to the next. Third drill, we're still at 3 yards. They mentioned you have to do headshots now. 2 rounds to the head, you have 3 seconds. Their target doesn't have a head. At least if you read online the description of their target, which is what we drew. So we went ahead and we put a head on there. It's about a 4.5, 5-inch circle or so. So we have 3 seconds, 2 rounds from drawing. So on the timer. .97 out of 3 seconds. Those shots are a little bit low. One is touching the head. One is right at like the base of our little jaw here. So we'll go ahead and count those just so we can move on. This is our last one at 3 yards. We have draw and fire 4 rounds, and we have a total of 3 seconds to do so. So on the timer. All good hits. What do we have for time?
2.92.
2.92, so cutting it close on the time for once, and then all good hits. So now we move back all the way to 7 yards. So now that we're back at 7 yards, we have to do 3 rounds, then an emergency reload, which if you know what that is, I don't, so I'm just gonna do slide lock. And then 3 more rounds after you reload, and we have a total of 8 seconds on the timer. All right, we have all good hits. How do we do for time?
6.8.
6.8, so 1.2 short of our time, so we're good there. All right, we are still at 7 yards. Now we do a Mozambique, which is 2 to the body, 1 to the head. We have a total of 5 seconds to finish this one. And I don't remember if it's from ready or from draw. It's from draw. The first one, that last one was actually supposed to be from ready. I messed up and I did it from draw, and I still had a 1.2 to spare. So this one is actually from the draw. 5-second Mozambique, 7 yards on the timer. Just barely touched the base of the head again. For some reason I'm just shooting low on that. And then what was my
2.9?
I had a 2.9, so almost half the time that you're allowed here. All right, next up, we're still at 7 yards. It is just a headshot. You have 2 seconds from ready. Not low ready, full ready. So on the timer, 1 headshot, 7 yards. 2 seconds. Centered it. What was the time?
Didn't even register.
Didn't even register. I'll find out in editing, but it was probably half a second or so. Still at 7 yards. We have to stage the gun with a loaded magazine but an empty chamber. And on the timer, we pull trigger, tap rack, and then we have to shoot 5 rounds, and we have 5 seconds to do this. This one is from ready though, so verify empty. From ready on the timer. Five rounds.
4.3.
In 4.3. I didn't do a tap. I'm not used to doing that. It doesn't matter because my gun still functions. So all good hits. Now we're moving on to 15 yards. All right, we're back at 15 yards now. We are going to fire 3 times, then drop to a knee and fire 3 more times. We have a whopping 12 seconds to complete this. And I believe I start from ready. Let me verify. Yes, from ready. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one from the holster just because from ready is kind of ridiculous. But 15 yards on the timer. They all look like good hits from here. I don't see any flyers, so we should be good. All right, so my time on that was 9.4 and I was allowed 12 seconds. So beat it by a mile, even from drawing from concealment. And now we are starting from kneeling, from ready, fire 3 rounds, and we have 5 seconds to do this. You're supposed to do it twice, but that's just a waste of ammo for me. So I will only be doing this once. On the timer. All right, good shots. What was the time?
2.98 seconds.
2.98, so 2 seconds to spare on that one. We have one more stage, and that is all the way from 25 yards. I didn't think ATF agents could shoot that far, but we have 2 rounds. They were nice. They gave them 8 seconds to do this, so at least this one is from the draw, so that should help it be a little bit more challenging. But 2 shots, I have 8 full seconds for this. On the timer, this is the last stage. Oh boy, target's flying around. What was the time? I had that in 4.0 from concealment at 25 yards. That was the last stage. So now we're gonna go take a look at our target and see if I am good enough to become the great almighty ATF agent. All right, so this is my target here. Here's our makeshift head. Not much to say. I had 1 miss. All the points in here are worth 2 points. All the points on the 8.5 by 11 are worth 1 point. So that means that this guy right here was my only miss and my only 0 pointer. So if ATF posted what pointage it took in able to pass, I would know for sure that I did. But I'm gonna go ahead and say I passed this one too.